How we doing today? Beautiful day down here in Mexico. You know, one thing I learned about Mexico is these guys don't sleep. These guys party all night long. And in order to party all night long, they do a lot of cocaine. Now, if I had $1 for each time I've been offered cocaine, I'd have enough money to buy cocaine that they was selling. And one of these guys was different. I met a young fellow last night. I was walking by Senor Frogs. And this young buck come up to me and he says, Senor, I have very pure cocaine. I want you to try my cocaine. It says very cheap, very good, cheap cocaine. I said, look, buddy, I don't do white dope. I don't believe in doing, I don't do drugs, you know. Well, he's a pretty consistent fella. I said, what's your name? He said, my name is Pedro. I said, well, look here, Pedro, I don't want your white dope. But he was very consistent. He says, Senor, I make a very good deal. My white dope is very, very good. He kept bothering me, and finally I turned around and says, Pedro, I don't care if your cocaine will skin the hair off a lion's nutsack. I don't do white dope, Pedro. So I walked on down the road, made about 2 more blocks down the road, and I couldn't help but to see that Pedro was following me. Pedro was right behind me, consistent salesman. Now, I appreciate a consistent salesman, but I don't do drugs. And I said, Pedro, what's it gonna take for you to leave me alone? And he says, well, I want you to buy my pure cocaine. I said, look here, Pedro, I'll make you a deal about your cocaine. It says, you try my drug first, my drug of choice, and I'll give you $10, and you can keep your cocaine, because I don't want your cocaine, but you can keep your $10, and I'll make you a deal right now that you can't turn down. You keep your cocaine, you get my $10. He says, okay, that sounds like a good deal, senor, very good deal. He says, well, what is your drug? And I said, well, where I come from, Pedro, we chew a little something called tobacco, Copenhagen snuff. He says, yes, I'll try your Copenhagen snuff, senor. So I said, all right, but it ain't going to be that easy, senor. I said, look here, Pedro. This is the deal. If you can keep that snuff in for 5 minutes without puking, I'll give you your $10. He says, oh, senor, very good deal. Now, this Pedro was very confident in himself. He wanted that $10, and he wanted his cocaine. I said, Pedro, why do you sell drugs? There's so many other jobs around here that I've noticed. He says, well, senor, if I don't sell my drugs, I can make myself feel better, because then I can do my drugs. I said, well, you got a good point there, I guess, if you're a cokehead. So we shook on the deal, and Pedro took a very portionate-sized pinch of snuff. Now, I wasn't going to tell him that, though. He took damn near half the can. Pedro makes it about a minute, you know. He says, where's my $10, senor? I do not puke. I said, now hang on, buddy. Give it a couple more minutes. I said 5 minutes now, Pedro. Don't cheat me out. Well, another minute goes by. Pedro says, senor, I need some water. I'm not feeling too good. I said, you don't want to drink that water, Pedro. That's going to go straight to your colon, bud. Do not drink that water. And he said, but it burns so bad, senor. It burns my lips. He says, all right, Pedro. You do what you want. As long as you don't puke, I don't mind. So Pedro took a swig of water. Another minute goes by. Well, needless to say, Pedro should have listened, because Pedro's lunch ended up on the sidewalk. Well, I walked off happy as could be with my $10 in my pocket, and I think I kept a drug dealer off the streets last night, because I'm sure Pedro went home and he got some water and took a nap, because he didn't look too good. Now, the moral of this story is, no matter what drug it is, don't do them. All drugs are bad, but don't try it, or you'll end up like Pedro, drunk and broke. Or not drunk, sick and broke. Don't be a Pedro.